Good afternoon and welcome on a wet and rainy Wednesday evening in Plymouth and a very special clip of Anna and Eastwood Get Real, where I give you my opinions on sport during coronavirus, especially football, just because football has been through so much over the last few months and is still very much in the limelight. But before we get started, I would like to give you 10 seconds to like and subscribe to this video and to the channel. On with the show. So this evening I will be talking about fans, I'll be talking about the transfer window, I'll be talking about rules in the refs rulebook, goal celebrations, and how we can attack a zero COVID strategy. So let's get things underway. Fans in stadiums by October. My sheet of paper tells me. Now, I see a lot of problems with this. And it's very hard to put it into words. Because when football restarted in June, fans were told that they couldn't return to the stadiums for health reasons, and Boris shortly followed with a statement saying, but you may be able to return to stadiums in October. Now, October is great news for football fans because the new season is starting on the 12th of September. So opening in October means you're missing 4 or 5 games of the season, which isn't bad. And the start of the season is always a slow one, so you're not really missing much. But how do you social distance in a stadium of capacity of 75,000? Big Premier League stadiums for the big teams such as the Etihad, Old Trafford, Stamford Bridge, Anfield. I forgot Anfield for a moment. How do you social distance? And then my second argument is, say it's match day number 4 and Manchester United are hosting Liverpool. So all of the fans are flocking to Old Trafford to see this huge game because it's always a huge game, Manchester United v Liverpool, because of the rivalry. Half time, Liverpool 1-0 up. Liverpool fans getting all jolly, probably sinking a couple of beers. Manchester United fans, a bit downhearted, again, sinking a couple of beers. Full time, 3-1. Now the pitch has changed completely. Liverpool fans are completely devastated that they've lost points. Manchester United fans are jolly, living at large because they won. The rivalry continues. But after the game, after they leave the stadium, I know for a fact Liverpool fans will be waiting to start a fight with Manchester United fans because they're angry that their team have lost. And Manchester United fans will get involved in the fight because they're all cocky and they want to give it some because they've just won. They're on top of the world. And everybody's had some. They've all had something to drink. There's no way you can stop it. So, do you stop alcohol in the premises during a match day? I think if Boris is going to put this through, there needs to be a lot of clarity. As with my next point, which is the transfer window. The Premier League finished last Sunday, and I was overjoyed because Manchester United finished in third. Manchester United are my favourite team. I support them all the way, win or loss, United till I die. And we finished in third place, which means Champions League football. And now everybody who supports Manchester United have their eyes on the prize of which players are we going to get in the transfer window. My issue is, and you'll be hearing that a lot this evening, if you sign a player from abroad, as with anybody, they will have to quarantine. And the transfer window is open from the 27th of July until the 15th of October. I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, drop it in the comment section below. Let's get a thread going. So say Manchester United Ed Woodward says, right, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you did very well at the end of the season. I've noticed we need defence. We've had defensive issues. We need a few new defenders. So they go to Real Madrid, and Real Madrid are selling Sergio Ramos. This isn't true. It's just a little story. For 67 million, United say we'll snap that up. We'll snap him up. One of the deals done. So that player is essentially Manchester United's. But before he can officially play for Manchester, he has to sign contracts, he has to undergo medical. So he has to fly over to the UK from Spain. But before he can undergo any medicals and before he can undergo any form of contract talks, how much he's earning, he has to go through a 14-day quarantine, does he not? Everybody else does. Why does it matter if they're a footballer or not? And it's a bit annoying for fans, because we just want to see the new players put the shirt on of the team that you support and give it their all. It happened with Bruno Fernandes when he signed for Manchester United, and it's a bit painful for Jadon Sancho because he's an English player, but he plays in Germany. So if Manchester United sign him, it's a bit annoying that he has to undergo quarantine. My next point is the new rule that BBC Sport are reporting in the refs rulebook for the Premier League. And that is that if you deliberately cough at a player or at the referee, it's an instant red card. Now this is something I agree with, because if you deliberately cough at somebody for the purpose of spreading germs or as a malicious attack, a malicious unprovoked attack even, they deserve that red card, and frankly I even think they deserve not to play at all for the rest of the season. I think with the extent of this virus, there are lots of people saying that the virus has been blown out of proportion. There are lots of people who are taking this seriously. I am one of those people who is taking it absolutely seriously, because we've seen the extent of the first wave, and especially if there's a second wave, to undergo an action such as purposely coughing on someone because a decision went against you, because you got a yellow card. The way it stands in football at the moment, if Michael tackles Jimmy and the referee sees that as a foul, That's an instant yellow card. Now that they brought VAR in, VAR can look at that and go, no, that's malicious, and that could really cause harm. That's a red card. So the referee can go, okay, red card. And after the game, the referee or the team who got the red card can appeal the red card decision. So they can essentially just get the yellow card. I think if they were to do that with coughing, I think that would be incredibly wrong. I think if a player is caught coughing deliberately on another player, on a referee, they should get a red card and they should be fined by the club that they play for of about 4 weeks' wages. I'd love to hear what you think. If you agree with me, let me know in the comments. If you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, because it's such a tricky time for a sport that a lot of people love. Finally, goal celebrations. When football finally returned in England, it was very different because fans obviously weren't in the stadiums. You could actually hear what the footballers were saying, or there was a very rubbish crowd sound going on in the background. And you can tell when it's a live crowd and when it's a fake crowd. And frankly, the fake crowd was absolute rubbish. So I watched with no crowd noise whatsoever, because why would I do that? You saw half of the teams wearing masks when they entered the stadium, but when players got onto the bench, or when players didn't play with masks on, because I wouldn't like to run around for 90 minutes with a mask on. They had no masks, no sign of masks, which begs the question: where did they go? What happens to the masks during the time that they're out on the pitch or out in the stadium? Are they being kept safe and clean? Are they being kept sanitized? Which I don't think they are. And I'm not very keen on it. I think if you're sat on the bench, some players are sat on the bench for the full 90 minutes, or even longer. So I think I suppose you can't guarantee that you're not going to be taken off, but I think if you're on the bench, you should be wearing a mask. Again, if you disagree, let me know in the comments. Another thing was goal celebrations. When a player scored a goal in the restart part of the season, which is the end of the season retrospectively, there's no social distance celebrations. Score a goal, it could be a cracker of a goal, and they would do their signature celebration, which may be this, maybe that, running around like this, maybe doing a dab, who knows. No copyright intended to J-Lanes. But all of their teammates are running up to them, patting them on the back, hugging them, jumping on them, because obviously they're excited. But I think, and it's the same when you've been drinking, you get the same adrenaline rush and you think, right, we can go and win this. I am so happy, I am so excited. But I think there is a line, and the Premier League board need to sit down and make some rules clear about what happens, what restrictions there are, what are they allowed to do, what are they not allowed to do, what have they done well in the end of the season, and what could they have improved on. So I think there is a lot that could be improved on. And finally, I'd like to leave with this message. Sport is a thing much loved by everyone around the world. Whether you are a football fan, a rugby fan, a cricket fan, squash fan, basketball fan, netball fan, volleyball, equestrian fan, gymnastics, whatever you are a fan of. Right now, in this trying time, we need to stand united against coronavirus. And personally, both Harry and I feel that the only way that we can do that is through a zero COVID strategy. We've seen other countries do it, and it's worked. But right now, especially to football fans, if it means that the 2021 campaign is declared null and void, I think we should accept it. I know that there will be disappointment, and I know that there will be pain. I sound like the bloody Queen now. But we need to stand united against this horrible disease and say, we are not going to stand for this anymore. We want to return to a happier time, and we want to return to the stadiums that we love, watching the players that we love, following the rivalries of the teams that we dislike, teams that anger us. We want the hunger back in football. We want the love back in rugby. We want the love back in all sport. And whether we can go back in October to stadiums or arenas or whatever venues our events may be held in, which would be amazing. And I know that there have been a lot of sporting events cancelled this year, but I think right now the best thing to do is to stand united and stay strong. And this goes to everyone around the world. Stand united, stay strong. Thank you very much. Now that brings me to the end of this very special clip, and I'd like to thank you for watching. Again, I'll give you 10 seconds to like and subscribe and share. And I believe Harry has or will be uploading a short clip from himself of him explaining why we need to go for a zero COVID strategy in the UK to really abolish coronavirus. Now, as stated in our last episode, we are gonna be taking a summer break. We may pop up here, we may pop up there, but we will be back officially for season 2 or series 2 or whatever you want to call it in September. We will have some great things lined up for you, and we look forward to seeing you then. So until then, goodbye.